Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. And today I'm going to be taking a look at all 7 of my Oxford Diecast Irish emergency vehicles. I have Garda, ambulance, and fire. So I'm going to take a look at all of them and give my overall view thoughts on these vehicles. So the first one I'm going to start with is the Garda Síochána vehicles. Garda ones. And I only have 3 of these. I have a Ford Transit SWB medium van, a Land Rover Defender station wagon, and a Ford Transit Connect. So I'm going to take a look at all of these individually. So the first one I want to take a look at is the Ford Transit van. And I'm going to zoom in just because it's a smaller vehicle. 1/76 scale. I think that's as far in as it'll go. So this one is a pretty interesting van. A little small. I really like the detailing on this. I'm going to probably bring in the camera a little bit so you guys get an up close-up of it. It's probably going to be hard to see the writing and the detail on it, so I'll just tell you what it says. It says, Garda Confidential Telephone 1-800-666-111. And then right below, on the bottom of the door, it says www.garda.ie. And then, of course, it says that on the side of the van. The other interesting thing that I like about this one is it's got the side door to get into the back from the side of the van, so that's pretty cool. Going to take a look around the back, it just says Garda, and then you can see the blue light on top at the very back of the van. And then turning it around to this side, there's only one door, just the driver's side door. There isn't a door to get into the side from the back on this side, which is a little different, but it has the same detailing, the Garda Confidential. I'm going to turn it around to the front. Light's a little much. There we go, that's much better. So it says Garda on the front, and then it's got the Ford right in the grill right there, which is pretty cool. I know it's probably going to be a little hard to tell because it's so small. I also like this, I think it's like a shield or something to like protect the windshield in case they're going into a situation like where people might be getting rowdy or something and throwing stuff. It kind of protects the windshield of the van, I think. I think I read that somewhere, but that's pretty cool that it has that on there, so that's pretty nice. The next one I have is the Land Rover Defender station wagon. And this is another pretty interesting one. I've got quite a few of these, but this one's a pretty cool one for a police vehicle. It's got the yellow stripe down the side of it, and then on the door you can see the Garda Síochána symbol on it, which is pretty cool. And in small writing it says the same thing that the van did right up here, the Garda Confidential. Then right on the hood, it's really hard to tell, but it says Garda on it, which is pretty cool that it's got that on there. Not too much detailing on it. It's got the small light bar on top, which is pretty cool. I don't know if this light helps or not. I'm going to do my best. The light from outside's pretty good right now, I'd say. Then turning it around to the other side, it's pretty much got the same detailing on it. And this is a pretty nice one. I really like, even though it's a small vehicle, it looks very realistic to the real thing in real life, so that's also pretty cool. Another interesting feature about this one, or another interesting part, is it's got the spare tire at the back, which is pretty cool. It's pretty nice that it's got that. No fragile mirrors on it either, though. That's another thing about this. That's another different part of it. That's pretty cool, though. The next one is the Ford Transit Connect. And this one's a pretty nice one, too. I have to say, It's small, not real big, but I really like the look of this one. I did a video with this one the other day in it. So if you saw that video, you already know what I'm going to say about it. But if you haven't, here's a new one on. Here's some parts that I like. It's got the same yellow stripe down the side. It's got some small writing on it. It's got the Garda written on it, and then the symbol right there at the back. A door to get into the back from the side right here. And then of course you got the back door right here on this side to get in to the back, with 2 back doors, which is pretty cool. And then turning it around to this side, just only one door on this side, that's the driver's side. There's no way to get into the back from this side of it, so that's a little bit different. Another thing too is it's got this CO on top of it. I'm not sure what that stands for, why it's there, but that's pretty cool. It's got the full light bar across the top, which is pretty cool. A little something on the windshield right there. It's got the full blue light, and then it says Garda on the hood, and it's also got the Ford symbol right there in the grill, which is pretty cool. So that's a pretty interesting feature. So that's a pretty nice one. The next one I'm going to take a look at is another Ford Transit Connect. And this one is from the Cork City Fire Brigade. Let me try to zoom in. Trying to zoom in, but it looks all blurry. So I'm trying to figure it out. It's probably going to be hard to see the writing on this one, but this is another pretty interesting vehicle. There we go. That's a bit better with the lighting, I guess. So it says Cork City Fire Brigade. I also like that right below where it has that writing, it's got the Fire Brigade symbol or crest, as I've heard it's called. It's got that right there. Got a door to get in to the side, or to the back from the side, just like the Garda one. Which is pretty cool. It's also got the checkered pattern color on it, like some of my fire engines do. That's pretty cool. It's got that on there. The back of the car, which is pretty cool. You also got the 2 back doors to get in to the back of it right there. And it's got that yellow and looks like a yellow and then a reddish red, the yellow color. Turning it around. Same detailing on this side, Cork City Fire Brigade. Same, so that's pretty cool. It's got that. It's got a small blue light on top of the vehicle. I'm going to turn the light off now. Right there. Okay, that's much better. And then it says fire on the hood of it in reverse. And it's also got the Ford symbol right there in the grill of the car, which is pretty cool. So that's pretty nice. This is the only one from Cork that I have, so it's a pretty cool car. Really like this one. Then I have a Land Rover from the Dublin Fire Brigade. And this is another pretty interesting vehicle, I have to say. I'm going to zoom in a bit. The writing on it is pretty small, so it's going to be hard to read it. But it does say Dublin Fire Brigade on it. A little bit different from the other one that I showed you, the Garda one. Red one, of course, obviously. And this is a 2-door instead of a 4-door like the Garda one. The Garda Land Rover station wagon had 4 doors. Turning it around from the front, not too much detailing to it. It's just a plain red Land Rover. And it's also got the small blue light on top. Just one blue, I think it's a beacon as it's called. It's pretty cool that it's got that on there. It's a pretty nice one. And then turning it around to this side, it's pretty much the same detailing and everything on this side as well. Dublin Fire Brigade written on the door. And then got some windows at the back right there, which is pretty cool. And then turning it around, you've just got There's no spare tire on this one. You can clearly see the back door to get into the back of the Land Rover, which is pretty cool. It's pretty nice for a small fire brigade Land Rover for this one. The next vehicle is a Bedford J1 ambulance, and this one's from the Dublin Fire Brigade as well. Pretty old-fashioned looking. Not a whole lot of detailing to it. You got the windows at the back right there, and it says emergency unit in that first window right behind the front. Some small writing and detailing on it. That's pretty cool. Turning it around to the front. It says ambulance, of course, right across the top, right above the front window. And it says it's hard to tell, but it says Bedford right along the hood, just above the grill. Even if I was to bring it up close, it'd be hard to see it, but that's what it says on it, so it's pretty cool. Same thing on this side, the same detail pretty much. A lot to it, but it's pretty cool. It's an old white one. And then another thing about this one too is you can see it's got the one small blue beacon on top, which is pretty cool. So it's got that. And then the last one I have, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. Maybe that'll be better. This one is from the Dundalk Fire Service. It's another Bedford J1 ambulance. And this one you can tell a little bit of, it's got the same design, but some differences from the Dublin Fire Brigade one. This one says emergency tender, and then you can tell right between the two back windows there's a crest or fire symbol right there in the middle. I think that's a crest, I want to call it. That's what I've heard it's been called, at least. So there's that. If it isn't a crest or a symbol, please someone tell me in the comments what it is. Don't want to say the wrong thing. On the door it says Dundalk Fire Service, and it's got a deep red on it, as you can tell, going all the way around it. Right down the front of the hood of this one, you can see that there's a deep red that's going right down the middle of it. Just some different detailing on it. And right above the front window it says emergency on it, and then you see the two blue lights, which is a little bit different from the Dublin one, which only had one light. And then turning it around, it's pretty much the same detailing on this side, but it's a pretty cool ambulance. It's a pretty nice one. Really like the look of this one. So now, having shown that, now I'm going to take a look. I'm going to do my best to show you what I can of this collection right here. I'm going to do each of these ones individually. So I got 7 of them. Let's try to make some adjustments here. So it may be hard to tell from here because there's such small vehicles, but I'm going to do my best. So of course in front I've got the 3 Garda, and in the back I have the 2 Dublin Fire Brigade and the Cork City Fire Brigade vehicles, and then the 2 ambulances at the very back. And I have to really say I really like how some of these vehicles are similar, even though they're different. They're still pretty cool, and I really like this collection of Irish emergency vehicles that I have from Oxford. I think they did a fantastic job making these models. Just how nicely detailed they are and how close to the real thing they look like in real life. So that's what's pretty cool about these. Really nicely detailed for 1/76 scale models like these, but I'd have to say this is a pretty cool collection right here. And I've seen some of these get reviewed, and I figured I'd give my thoughts on these vehicles as well. So, and if you didn't see the videos I did last year, I did individual reviews of these ones. So please be sure to go back and check those out if you get the chance to. But I wanted to do show my collection of Oxford Diecast Irish emergency vehicles in the 176 scale in this collection and just take a look at it overall. And I have to say, this is a pretty interesting one. So, if you like the Oxford models or even their emergency vehicles that they've made, really be sure to look for these because these are the ones to get for your collection. They're pretty nice. So I would highly recommend getting them if you find them. So anyway, that'll be it for this video, and please be sure to stay tuned for the next one.